Sigma, do you remember what I said back in the other warehouse?
Yeah? You told me we should betray Quark since we might not get another chance like this. Right?
Yeah. Can I, take that back?
Oh?
I changed my mind a little bit after talking to Tenmyouji. I think we should choose ally.
Hey, that's more than just a little bit. That's like someone trading in a Shih Tzu for a German Shepherd. Speaking from experience here, Sigma? What the hell happened with you two? Did he say something to you?
I can't tell you.
Why? What? Why?
I just can't.
Why can't you?
You'd laugh if I did anyway.
Try me. I won't laugh.
Really?
Promise.
Well, I still can't tell you.
Hey, come on.
I promised. I told Tenmyouji I wouldn't tell anybody.
Alright, fine. I won't ask about it again. But Tenmyouji doesn't really have anything to do with this, right? Our opponent is Quark.
No, he does matter. Quark is really important to Tenmyouji. If we betray Quark, we're betraying Tenmyouji. Come on, don't you remember? When we were going into the red, blue, and green doors, Tenmyouji said something.
That he trusts you. That he trusts you with Quark. And that you will keep him safe.
I didn't say there wasn't anyone I trusted. There's one person. Clover. I just know that you'll keep him safe.
I can't betray somebody who'd say that about me.
You seemed pretty ready to betray him back on floor B.
That's because I didn't know who he was.
So, you know who he is right now, apparently. Oh, so you're saying you know who Tenmyouji really is?
Well, if what he told me was true, yeah.
So you're saying that you knew this guy before?
One minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
Please, choose ally.
I'm going to try and vote yourself.
If I try, you'll just throw me off, right? I don't think I'm strong enough to fight you. So...
Alright. With that, I turned to face the voting machine. And the question was, what would I do? Ally? Or betray? Just as Clover had said, betraying Quark was like betraying Tenmyouji. That wasn't even taken into consideration that Quark was just a kid. And he was infected with a deadly disease that would almost certainly kill him if we didn't do something. How could I betray someone like that? Only a monster would take advantage of a helpless child for their own gain. On the other hand, what Clover had said in the warehouse on floor B was true. It was unlikely that I'd get a chance like this again. If I chose betray, then I'd have 9 BP. I would be able to escape this godforsaken hellhole.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Not like this, Sigma. Not like this. So what would be my choice? What would I do? Ally? Or betray? I chose...
3, 2, 1. Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
What did you choose, Sigma?
You didn't see me push the button?
No?
Oh, you know in a moment. Let's go. I gave her a light pat on the shoulder and headed toward the wall where the result would be displayed.
Results
All right.
from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed.
What's it gonna be? I thought that we're gonna have any kind of surprise coming from Quark in similar fashion to Alice, so we at least should be good. I hope.
Please direct your attention to the results screen.
We're gonna have to see about the other people, though. Betray, betray, ally, ally. Ally and ally. Alright. Both us and Quark allied, so we got points. Phi and Luna picked ally as they promised. And Alice didn't die. Alright, well, this is peachy. This is quite peachy. I'm gonna eat a peach today as a reward for this day.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
Actually, I don't think I have a peach in my house today. Fuck, I'm gonna have to buy some at some point, maybe tomorrow.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
In a perfect world, though, Dio would pick ally and
So you chose
Kay and
ally,
Luna.
huh?
And Kay and Luna would pick. And Kay and Alice would pick ally. In a perfect world. Yeah. Quark is sick. A kid. And unable to move. I couldn't bring myself to betray someone like that.
Thank you.
No need to thank me. I only did what anyone would have. And especially you, Clover. You... From the sound of it, you kept your promise about choosing ally. So you guys chose ally too, huh?
Of course.
Granted, Clover wanted to choose betray before, but well, you promised Tenmyouji, so that's good.
Tenmyouji had only one BP left, and he was guaranteed to vote ally. So there's no way we could betray somebody in that position.
If we had, then he'd...
Yeah, he didn't have much of a choice. Alice, Kay, and Dio, on the other hand, seem to have had a less pleasant round.
Hey, what the hell is your problem? You're either crazy or just an asshole. Were you trying to kill me?
No, nothing like that.
Well then, what was it like? If we'd voted ally,
You would be dead. The needles in your bracelet would have activated, killing you.
See? That's exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't think there was any way in hell you guys would choose ally, not with Alice's BP at 1. The only way you could possibly vote was betray. Picking ally when I knew you guys would pick betray would have been suicide.
You can't die. You've got 6 BP.
This makes me question, when it comes to everyone allying as such. It would be great if everyone chose ally from the start, so that we would have a good start. Now that... Actually, hold on a second. Alright, good. There was something on my phone, but moving on. Now that we have people with 1 BP, the chances are even lower for us all to ally because of this doubt and betrayal that we had in the past. If we are all to trust each other, it would have to be at the beginning. The more time passes and we have betrayed each other already, the more difficult it would be for all of us to ally. So...
Well, maybe not immediately, no. But I would have been signing my own death warrant. Heck, not just mine. Everyone except Kay's.
What?
Didn't you think it through? Your vote was always gonna be betray. Let's say I was a raving lunatic and picked ally. What would happen to Kay's BP?
6 + 3 would make 9.
See? Then it'd be game over.
I guess for once, Dio has the right argument here. He did think they would pick Betray, so not only did he not want to lose points, and instead end on a stalemate with no one getting points, but he didn't want K to escape either if K wanted that.
Life over. He'd open the number 9 door and blow this popsicle stand. And that'd leave us twisting in the wind, living out the rest of our miserable lives stuck in this place. You see? That's why I chose Betray. I did it to save all our necks, including yours.
In which case, why didn't you all talk about this through before the AB round? Alice gritted her teeth and scowled fiercely at Dio, apparently trying to think of a rebuttal, before finally snorting indignantly and stalking away. Shortly thereafter, the warehouse was filled with the rumbling sound of the doors sliding shut. Gazing! All the doors are closed, magically.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the start round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of star keys. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
As many times as we want, huh? Then that means...
We can play the AB game as many times as we want.
Yeah, well, there you have it, Clover. You are thinking before that we wouldn't be able to play these rounds, like, forever. Well, we can. As long as nobody opens that number 9 door, that is.
Right?
Hey, didn't Zero Jr. say something about this?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, he did. Can you guys all show me your bracelets? I want to see what all our colors and groups are this time. Within moments, a series of wrists were extended for me to examine. Okay. Solo, 6, red. Pair, blue, 3. Pair, 8. Solo, 6. Pair, 8. Pair, 1. Solo, 8. I see. Luna and Clover are cyan. Oh, wait, no, cyan. And Fi and Alice are magenta pair. The remaining 3 are all solos. K is red, Dio is green, and I'm blue. So, how are the groups supposed to work for the next round? I think the next doors are going to be those white ones down in the floor B warehouse.
Yeah, I heard about those. Alice told me about them while we were here waiting for you and Clover. I think I've got them figured out.
Yeah, so lay it out for us. How are the groups going to shake out this time? Alright, Fi, do your job once again. Fi nodded and began to explain. Probably only one option here. Option A. Tenmyouji and Quark yellow pair up with me, blue, to open one door. Fi and Alice magenta pair up with Dio green to open another door. Luna and Clover, cyan, pair up with K red to open the last one. Now here's the thing though. We don't really have that many rooms to begin with left. We've already been with Tenmyouji and Quark as a pair through the white doors. And from what I have seen in this Nonary game, we don't do escape rooms twice. We only do them once per timeline. Like per entire game. So I wonder if we're gonna go for something else. I mean, we have to. We cannot just go through the office once again.
Oh?
And if there is only one escape room per white door, and we're still with... Or no, wait, it doesn't really matter. They're all white doors. Meaning, yeah, we have the same group as before, but say that we go through a totally different white door. We will go through a different escape room. Okay, I gotcha. So we can go with the same group as before with Quark and Tenmyouji, but go through a completely different escape room. Okay.
Is there only one option?
It kind of made me think there
Yes.
for a second.
No other combinations would be able to open the secondary doors. Admittedly, Tenmyouji and Quark aren't here for us to check, but I'm sure they're the yellow pair. If they weren't, then Sigma would be stuck without anybody he could pair up with.
Oh, God. I never thought I'd have to put up with Dio again.
Well, you just didn't think hard enough then. Sooner or later, everybody puts up with Dio. Wait.
So, what should we do now? It looks like we have a lot of time until the primary doors open.
Yeah, about 80 minutes.
I'm worried about Quark's condition. Those pods can't cure Radical 6. He still needs help.
Well, we don't have anything to lose, so we might as well look for that medicine. Clover, right?
Yeah. What about the rest of you?
Oh, I'll help.
As will I.
Me too.
Fine. I guess I can help.
What about you, Sigma?
Of course I'll help. What kind of a jerk wouldn't?
Okay. We should split up and search.
I mean, if Dio said, fine, I'm gonna help, and Sigma wouldn't, then what can that tell about you, Sigma? Just kidding. No matter what, Dio will always be the superior jerk in this entire group. After some discussion, Dio were signed to the pantry, Luna and Alice to the treatment center, and Clover and myself to the pressure exchange chamber.
Shall we regroup in the Floor B warehouse 10 minutes before the doors open?
Surely. We all nodded. Kay turned to Alice and Luna.
You are going to the treatment center, correct?
Yes.
Then please remember to tell Tenmyouji where we intend to meet and when.
Okay.
You must also remember to bring Quark with you. I am concerned about removing him from the pod, but it can't be helped. Without Quark's bracelet, Sigma and Tenmyouji will be unable to open the secondary door.
Right.
Good. Looks like we got all that straightened out. Let's go.
With a final nod to one another, we split up, each team heading in a different direction. So, this is the pressure exchange chamber.
No, this is the prep room. There are 2 levels. The actual pressure exchange chamber is downstairs.
How do you know that?
Alice told me. She was one of the people who investigated this room.
Did you talk to her when you were waiting for us back in the warehouse?
Yeah.
Let's head downstairs then.
Good idea.
So, this is the real thing. You know, looking at this particular place, for some reason it makes me think of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. I mean, I have played the ever-living crap out of that game when I was a kid. I played it at the beginning of this year, 100%ed it. Yeah, after like 53 hours, I think it was. Like 53 hours of playing that game. 100%ing it as well.
Seems like it.
Why do they have something like this here?
Well, this is just what Alice told me, but...
Apparently, the pressure inside the facility was a lot higher than the pressure outside. That was part of a system designed to keep the virus from getting in. It did mean, however, that we need to go through the compression process in order to get outside.
Remember all those suits along the wall of the prep room? Those keep you from getting infected. We won't even be able to enter the pressure exchange chamber if we don't have them on.
I see. Whoa, 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 whoa. then that newspaper article was right?
Unfortunately, that seems pretty likely.
Oh my god, it is true! So the air out there is teeming with Radical 6.
Yeah.
Something's been bothering me.
What is it?
Aren't you saying that if we put on those suits, we can go into the pressure exchange chamber and go outside, right?
Oh. No, we can't do that. The door beyond the pressure exchange chamber is locked up tight.
Bummer. Just one door between us and freedom.
Well, if you look at it that way, it's the same as the number 9 door.
Yeah, but maybe we can find some explosive to break this door. Who knows? Then again, all the explosive stuff that we can find in this Nonary game are stuff that can blow the entire building up and not just the door, so... kind of risky. Just a tiny bit risky. Just saying, a tiny bit, a smidge risky.
Whatever. We need to be focusing on finding that Accelavir. Quark needs it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll go look around upstairs. You two take this floor, all right?
Got it.
Okay.
Alright, we looked everywhere we could think of, but turned up nothing. Eventually, I couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer. Hey, what do you think the deal is with this stuff about the world being infested with some crazy virus? A pandemic seems like it would make the news, but I don't remember hearing anything. Wait a minute. You mentioned it, didn't you? Back when Dio was asking questions. We were in the infirmary. It was right after Quark lost it.
Have any of you guys heard anything about any sort of viral pandemic?
Well, no. But...
And then Alice said...
I have heard rumors about a virus being used as a bioweapon.
So, what's the rumor she was talking about? I get the feeling you and Alice were talking about the same thing. Clover, what do you know? What are you and Alice anyway? I heard you guys belong to some sort of organization, but what is it? Clover was quiet for a long time. She bit her thumbnail and looked down at the floor. Then finally, she lifted her head and met my eyes.
Fine. I think I can trust you. Just don't tell Alice, okay?
Alright.
Promise?
Promise. Promise. Clover nodded and began to talk. I listened with rapt attention, at a complete loss for words. Alright. We have story time once again! Well, granted, I think I'm gonna use my normal voice for this one. There's no way I'm gonna use Clover's for such an extended period of time. Actually, before that, I'm gonna take a bit of a break and drink some water, because this is gonna be a long one as well. So, yep. Alright, drank some water over there, and hey, my timer on my watch is working once again. It doesn't skip numbers, so that's good. So, alright, let us begin. Here is what she said. Alice and I are agents of the SOIS, which is under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense. SOIS stands for Special Office of Internal Security, and we are an elite intelligence division that investigates potentially disruptive or dangerous elements, such as domestic or foreign terrorists, radical political splinter groups, and religious organizations with extreme agendas that could pose a threat to the state of citizenry. Our existence hasn't been made public, so there are only a few people who even know we exist. You're probably wondering how I even got involved in something like that, huh? Always a surprise to me, darling. Well, it started when I met Alice. I told you that I played the Nonary game twice before, right? Well, this was after the second time, so about a year ago. We just escaped and we were all stuffed into this SUV barreling across the desert. I was driving. Ah yes, I remember the day when you were driving that car. You were the one that was driving after the escape game. I was wondering if we were gonna get the bad ending. I was wondering if we were gonna get the bad ending then. And that's when I saw her. Alice. She was standing next to the road with her thumb out. She was already working for the SOIS, and she'd been on her way to the building we'd been trapped in as part of her investigation. But on the way there, her car had broken down. We offered to give her a ride, of course. After she got in, we started talking about it, and it turned out that Alice had gotten a tip that the terrorists she was after were in the building we'd been trapped in. We couldn't see how us playing the Nonary game had anything to do with the terrorists. But Alice had a suggestion. Maybe the two people who trapped you in there are the terrorists. That didn't seem very likely to us, but we were chasing after them anyway, so we decided to bring Alice with us. Unfortunately, we didn't find them. As far as we know, they're still out there now, on the run. Anyway, we were taken back to SOIS headquarters and put into custody. I guess they thought there had to be some kind of connection between us being kidnapped and the terrorist group they were investigating. But they must not have found anything, because after a few days of questioning they let us go. We all went home and returned to our lives. But things didn't go back to the way they'd been. My mom got real worried about me and my brother, since we'd gotten kidnapped twice now, so she hired bodyguards for us. Oh, I haven't told you about my brother, have I? He's super awesome, for one. And he was in both the last Nonary, and he was in both of the last two Nonary games too. So anyway, we've been grabbed twice. But the people behind the two Nonary games were totally different. That didn't matter to my mom though. So after that, all these huge men in black suits followed me and my brother everywhere. It was awful. I think it is so after all that, not so after that all these huge stuff. I think that's grammatically wrong. Either way, we were always being watched. People would look at us funny because we were being followed around by a bunch of creepy looking guys. I couldn't stand it. Just when I thought I'd finally be free, all that was waiting for me was another kind of prison. The only time I was really happy was when I was hanging out with my brother. So we were talking it over one day, and we decided to leave. Like, run away. So we did it. After that we lived on our own. I worked in a cafe, and he composed music. He plays the harp, and he started writing this kind of new agey music. It got kind of popular, so he didn't have to worry too much about surviving. Sometimes he'd play at little venues like coffee houses and stuff, and his fans would show up and listen to him play and cry. Or some of them would meet on their own and recite stuff from the book he'd written and play his songs. I know that sounds kind of like weird and culty, but they just do that stuff on their own, okay? My brother doesn't have anything to do with it. Okay. Anyway, we did that for a while, and then one day Alice showed up. "I need your help," she told us. "We need people who can do what you can do." So we went to the location she gave us, and it turned out to be the headquarters of the SOIS, where they'd taken us after the second Nonary game. They put us in a room with about a dozen or so other people who were all about the same age as us. A bunch of them looked familiar too. It only took a moment to realize how we knew each other. They were the kids from the first Nonary game. We were all excited to see each other again, and we were hugging and shaking hands and stuff. And then Alice walked in. The whole room went quiet. She walked up to the podium and looked around the room, making eye contact with each one of us. Right now, a terrorist organization is preparing for a major attack. They plan to trigger a viral pandemic. If they succeed, they will strike a massive blow against all of humanity, not just any one country. It's possible that we, as a species, will die out completely. We are doing our best to prevent this, but we need your help. You are what we call espers. You have the ability to access the morphogenetic field. We need that. I guess you don't know what any of that is, but basically we can do this thing that's kind of like telepathy. I mean, it isn't really telepathy, but that's probably the closest thing, okay? Espers can resonate their consciousness with another person through this thing called the morphogenetic field. The purpose of the first Nonary game was to research that ability. So, they kidnapped kids who had the potential to do it, and threw them into the game. Alice had gathered up all the kids from that experiment. Well, I mean, it had been 9 years since it happened, so we weren't really kids anymore. Anyway, everybody she'd brought in was an esper. That included me and my brother, of course. I bet you think I'm just making all this stuff up, huh? I don't blame you. It is pretty crazy. Oh, I believe every single word you're saying here, sweetie. I mean, I was even starting to forget I could do that stuff. So when I heard Alice's story, I was like, screw that! I was trying to move on with my life, and now some shady government creeps wanted me to use some weird ability I had for them? No way! I wasn't even sure I could do it anymore. Some of the others felt differently though, and they told Alice they'd do it. It was a job after all, and most people wouldn't turn down a salary like that. Ah, right, I forgot to tell you, she told us how much they'd pay us if we helped. It was a lot. More wealth than you can imagine. But I was still totally against doing it. My brother told me he'd go along with whatever I decided, so I decided we were leaving. A couple of days passed, and then Alice showed up at our tour, and then Alice showed up at our apartment. She didn't waste time. The people behind the first Nonary game might have been part of the terrorist organization Alice and the SOS were after. Was that, she asked, something that I might want to know more about? That got me curious. My brother too. But the clincher was what Seven said was. He was one of the guys that got abducted with us for the second Nonary game. She called him on her phone right then and there, and handed it to us. You guys are the only people who can do this. We don't know where Junpei is. He's gone off to travel the world, looking for Akane. I haven't been able to get a hold of him. Please, just do me a favor and help Alice out. Junpei, like Seven, another participant from the second Nonary game. Akane, one of the people behind the second Nonary game. Seven was a Japanese policeman, which was probably how Alice got in touch with him. Anyway, that did it. My brother and I agreed to join the SOIS. For the next couple of months, all we did was train. Half of the time, it was general knowledge and technical skills an SOIS agent needed, and the other half was learning to strengthen our Esper abilities. They'd actually known about Espers for quite a while, and had a lot of techniques that helped us get better and stronger. After several months of hard work, we were finally ready for our first field missions. Mine was an infiltration. My brother stayed at the base, so I could relay information back through him. I was supposed to sneak into a research facility, posing as one of their workers, and then use the morphogenetic field to transmit what I found back to my brother. But everything went wrong. It was a trap. The whole research facility was fake, and I got captured. Alice had to come and rescue me. I've been sending information about the inside of the facility to my brother, and Alice used that information to come and find me. As soon as she got there, she picked me up and carried me out. I was relieved and happy to be alive and free, but I also felt ashamed and miserable. While she was carrying me back out, I started to cry. She was just so cool, and I wasn't. I wanted to be just like her. So from that day onward, I did everything I could to be more like Alice. Aww. Our infiltration ended in failure, but we did manage to get something useful. In fact, we were able to figure out where their headquarters was. The directors decided that December 25th, 2028 would be the day we would strike. This time, I promised myself we wouldn't screw it up. I was finally going to get some answers about something that had been with me for most of my life. But then, on December 22nd, 3 days before the raid, Alice and I were attacked by people in gas masks while we were going over our plans. Multiple people in gas masks? And when you woke up, you were in the warehouse.
Yeah.
All that talking seemed to have tired Clover out. Yeah, well, it is pretty interesting. Stuff that we already knew, but also new stuff that we have learned right now, which is pretty interesting. Now, I am expecting another to be continued to come right around the corner for us to just go to a different timeline and do some other stuff. So let's see. Hey, my timer is working on my smartwatch. It's working right now. Now it's all fluent and such. 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, there you go. That's really nice. And well, now we heard Clover's story. Now what about that damn to be continued screen that we're gonna get in like 2 minutes? After all that talking seemed to have tired Clover out. She sighed, and her long hair swayed as she moved. Hey, I got a few questions.
What are they?
Well, first off, your powers, I guess. I'm guessing you cannot use them right now?
Yeah. I'm not really sure why. I've been sending my brother messages ever since I woke up, but...
No response?
Yeah. If there was another Esper here, they could make me stronger. But that's just wishful thinking. Wait.
What?
Well, if there's someone else who's stronger than me, then they kind of absorb my powers. Maybe... No, never mind. That's probably not it.
Oh, come on, Clovey. Tell us what you're thinking. Who are you thinking of that is stronger than you? Alright. Whatever. I have some other questions, so... Moving on. I think I understand what Alice was talking about now. They were trying to spread that virus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So who are they?
Well... I can't tell you that.
What? Why not? You told me all that other stuff, but this is too much? I mean, not to mention the fact that I learned this from Alice, so... Why are you hiding this from me, Clover?
Well, Alice would be mad at me.
We promised it. My bad. A different timeline. My bad. I already told you I wouldn't tell her.
But...
Whatever. Let's move on to the next topic. Fine. Let me rephrase. When are they going to do it?
Well, if we knew that, we wouldn't have gone to all that trouble.
So you don't know?
No. All we know is soon.
But that could mean just about anything.
Yeah. It could be next week or next month or even next year.
In what context would you say that soon means next year, Clover?
Or it could have happened already.
Wait. You mean they might have already released the virus?
Wouldn't that make the most sense? Like, how about this room? Or that newspaper article? And the 3 people who were put in cold sleep.
Are you saying you, me, and Alice were frozen and the pandemic ended while we were on ice? I actually had that thought. I had the 3 guesses for who the 3 people might be. And I was thinking of Sigma, Alice, and Clover. Mostly because we know Sigma's backstory from 2028. And, well, Alice and Clover, we've seen them, like, in 999, so... I was thinking of them. I mean, in my eyes, if some of my theories from the past are right, there's no way that Tenmyouji would be one of the pod people. Well, actually, it kind of depends. But given the discussion that we're having right now, that we have been cold sleep through the virus and woke up after the virus has spread, I don't think Tenmyouji is one of them. And if that's the case, then neither Quark. Luna, we don't know. K, I am seriously doubting that. Because of my theories from before. Dio, I don't know. Yeah, I am thinking, but then again, they were frozen like 8 hours ago. I think this is something completely different. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Nobody else has heard of Radical 6 either.
Maybe they're lying.
Really? All 6 of them?
Well, if K really does have memory loss, then it's only 5. Quark is out too.
So you're saying Tenmyouji, Dio, Phi, and Luna are all lying? I guess they are a little suspicious.
Right?
And what's their motive?
For lying? How would I know?
Then what's the motive for a terrorist organization to start a pandemic?
I heard it was something about purifying the unclean?
Purifying the unclean? So it's the usual make space for the true advanced humans while the rest of humanity gets the shaft because they are filthy casuals.
Oh, unclean. Unclean.
What? What are you doing?
Shut up! Just hold on a minute. I'm this close to remembering.
Okay.
Unclean. Clean.
Look, I already cleaned the office for New Year's Eve. And even the bathroom. Every nook and cranny is clean and shiny like a baby's butt. What more do you want?
Een.
She leapt up, suddenly excited. Een!
Neostigmine.
Neostigmine? Isn't it Neostigmine? Like, mine? Neo what?
Did you forget it already? I'm talking about this stuff.
As she spoke, she pulled something out of her pocket. It was the injection gun, complete with a vial of medication. Oh, right. I remember that. It was in the safe in the treatment center, right?
Yeah!
I didn't have any idea what it was, though, so I gave it to you.
Exactly!
Are you saying you've heard about this neostigmine stuff before?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just remembered.
You remembered?
My brother told me about that. Neostigmine is a type of cholinesterase inhibitor.
Cholinesterase inhibitor?
That means it's a sort of antidote for tubocurarine.
Okay, how come nobody corrected me on the neostigmine pronunciation? I always said it neostigmine because it sounded the most logical to me. I'm sorry, but I still don't get it.
How easy do I have to make it? Ugh. Okay, fine. I'll start at the top, all right? The stuff I've got in here is neostigmine, which counteracts the muscle relaxant tubocurarine. Following me?
Tuberculosis is the poison in our bracelets, right?
Right. It's the second thing we get injected with if we're penalized.
First, is this over real? Which puts you to sleep. 9 minutes later, the tuberculosis is injected, numbing your respiratory muscles. I guess you could say it'll really take your breath away.
So you're saying this neostigmine keeps it from working?
Yes! Oh my god, how many times are you going to make me say it?
So we can just inject ourselves with this if we get penalized. Huh. Huh. Kinda sounds like... Actually, hold on a second. Where was it exactly? I think it was this. Kinda sounds like a perfect solution for one of the problems we had in one of the other timelines.
Yeah! We don't have to die. We're gonna be okay.
Well, maybe not in this timeline. But we can do something with this in the other timeline. That's good, for me, at least.
We can only pull the trigger once, though.
That means we can only use it on one person. Well, at least I assume that we're going to be able to use it. It kind of depends if... Wait, is this actually it? It's already open? Maybe it's because we discovered the neostigmine, like, right now. Which is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I think it actually opened, like, right now. Because of the neostigmine. Because we learned this information about how neostigmine is gonna help us in this. Yeah, before it wasn't open. It was actually locked before. So we can actually go there and do it. If we want to. But we're gonna continue with this. See where this is gonna lead us.
Yeah.
Well, it's still good news. This means one of us can break the rules once. Like, let's see.
The best way to use it would be for sneaking through the number 9 door. If somebody gets 9 points, they can open it, right? With this stuff, somebody who doesn't have 9 points could still leave with them. Anyway, I'm gonna go tell Alice.
What? Hey! Clover, wait! Clover! It was too late. Clover was already on the lift and gone. Damn. I think, understandably upset. With no stairs, my only choice was to wait for the lift to come back down. Oh yeah, that's a very good point. We cannot... The lift is up there. Like, I see it, there's no button around here that can let the lift go back here. What kind of a lift is that? What if somebody gets stuck over here? Like Sigma right over here. Jesus. I mean, seriously, Clover? As soon as it was back, I jumped on and headed upstairs. Maybe it's automatic as well. So, man. Fire. Fi? Are you okay? You look sad. What's up? Where did Clover go? Fi? Can you hear me? She didn't say anything. Just stared at me with her mouth half open. Her eyes seemed slightly glazed, and her body was unnaturally stiff. Fi? Oh god. No. This is totally unprecedented. Don't tell me that Fi is affected by Radical 6 too! We've never seen her get affected by Radical 6 before. Why? I grabbed her shoulder and shook her gently. Slowly, she raised her arm, fingers drooping limply from it. She gestured toward the exit that led away from the warehouse. That way? She went out that door? Fi's only answer was a slow, shallow nod. Right, got it. Thanks. I headed for the exit, then paused. Oh god. I hope that Clover is okay. You look pretty tired. Get some rest, alright? Still no response. There was something odd about her, but catching Clover seemed like more of a priority. I turned back around and jogged out of the door, toward the treatment center. Huh? This is weird. Where is everybody? I'd assumed Alice would be in the treatment center, so Clover would have gone there to find her, but the room was empty. Luna and Tenmyouji were gone too. They'd left Quark, and the readout on his pod said his vital signs were still normal. As far as I could tell, he was still asleep. Fine. Guess it's time to go look somewhere else. I made my way out of the treatment center. Nobody in Warehouse B. Nobody in the lounge. Nobody in Warehouse A. I mean, granted, there is still some time left until the next escape rooms are gonna activate. What the hell? What is going on here? I cannot find anybody. Yeah, at this point, more than likely, they all are in one place, somewhere. I don't know where. They probably found something. Every single room is empty. Wait. There's still one place I haven't checked. The infirmary. Maybe they found that memory card and used it on the screen. I ran into the room and stopped short. I might as well have run into a brick wall. My chest tightened so much I could barely breathe. What? What happened? Oh god, somebody's dead, isn't it? I felt my whole body convulse. Whether from terror or nausea, I couldn't tell. My legs went limp, and I crumpled to the floor. Oh god, who is it? Who is it? Something sticky pressed against the palm of my hand. I looked down to see blood. A fast, warm pool of fresh blood, stretching out across the room, lapping at my legs and hands. Why? This cannot be real. How could... Oh! Oh god! Everybody's dead! What happened? Oh god! Mass suicide, isn't it? It's the Radical Six! In the middle of the lake of blood, like an island of flesh, were bodies. There are a bloody tangle of lancet limbs and dead eyes, with too much blood and chaos for me to tell who was who. they slice themselves open? Or stab one another? Oh god, and there's Phi as well. How? But then again, the many roads interpretation crap. We are in a timeline in which the Radical 6 got to everybody like real fast. This wasn't supposed. This is normally not what was supposed to happen, given the other timelines that we have been through. Even Clover. I can tell. All the blood. Too much blood. Whatever they'd done, it was clear what tool they used to do it. A scalpel lay in the blood next to them, its handle and blade streaked with gore. Oh, good Christ. Scalpel, you are the bane of my existence at this point. And this was how they had died. This tiny blade. Oh god. This is it. It's all over. This is how it ends. That's right. I have to end it. No, Sigma, you cannot do it. You're not thinking of what you're not thinking of doing that, aren't you? And this nightmare will finally be over. Time to wake up. Oh no, he's infected with Radical 6, isn't it? As well, my finger scraped across the floor as I picked up the scalpel. No, Sigma! I lifted it slowly, carefully, to my neck. No! As if someone were guiding my hand with theirs. Sigma, don't you dare do it! God damn it! No! I drew it across my throat.